You've probably seen a dozen comparison videos on these two cameras already, yet you're still not sure which one to buy and ended up here. I get it. Choosing a camera to invest can feel terrifying because what if you don't like it? What if you regret it? But if you ask my opinion, the real difference between these two is not necessarily about the specs because they're pretty similar. It's more about which one makes it easier for you to film. So if you've seen all the reviews but still can't decide, this video might finally help you choose. Hi, my name is Laura. I test everyday tech that blends aesthetics and practicality to help you make better choices. I spent the past month testing the Insta360 GO Ultra and the DJI Osmo Nano, and today I'll walk you through how they compare, from the design, performance, features, practicality, down to the price and their accessories. This video is sponsored by Insta360, but as always, everything you'll hear is based on my real experience with both cameras. And my goal here is simple. I want to lay things out as clearly and as objectively as possible, so by the end, you'll know exactly which camera feels right for you. Without further ado, let's get into it. First thing first, let's start with the design, because if you care about aesthetics and practicality like I do, this makes quite a difference in how you use it. The GO Ultra looks like a mini digital camera with a foldable screen and rubbery edge, which adds a nice grip. The Osmo Nano has a stackable, non-folding body. It is still comfortable to hold. You just have to be mindful not to cover the screen or the side microphone when holding it. The GO Ultra's display is noticeably larger, which makes it easier to see your framing. But the Nano screen placement at the bottom is pretty clever too, because if you mistakenly looking at the screen instead of the lens, it's not as noticeable. If you want to switch to selfie mode, it's faster with the GO Ultra's flip mechanism, while the Nano takes a few extra seconds since you need to detach, rotate, and reclip. The latch can feel a little bit finicky too. Now, the main attraction for these cameras are their detachable, magnetic, and wearable design. The GO Ultra's smaller, logo-free design is less noticeable and more comfortable to wear in public if you prioritize low-key filming. But on the flip side, the rectangular shape on the Nano gives it a bit more structure and it stands more firmly on the surface. The Nano also has extra magnet on the bottom, which is a nice touch if you like different angle options. You can mount it for an overhead view or flip it for a low-angle shot without needing extra accessories. So overall, the GO Ultra feels modern, compact, and minimal. It's ideal for shy vloggers. The Osmo Nano feels more like a first-generation tech product, but it can be more practical. And while design sets the tone, how these cameras feel once you start using them matters even more. So, which one is more beginner-friendly? Let me share how my first experience with each felt. With the GO Ultra, it felt familiar right away since it's almost identical to the GO 3S. Out of the box, it's ready to record without touching any settings, and with the larger screen, you get more settings option on the display. The buttons are also quite self-explanatory, so even if it's your first time using it, it feels intuitive. And once you're ready to explore, there are plenty of creative modes and settings to play with. I've also just realized that the GO Ultra offers more diverse mode selections, including interval recording, star lapse, and macro shooting. With the Osmo Nano, it took me a little longer to start using it properly, mainly because of these buttons. There was no power buttons because both of these are for recordings, so I kept pressing the side button out of habit, thinking it was the power button, but it started recording instead. I later realized that you actually need to hold the button for power, so it's just something that you need to get used to at the start. And the smaller screen on the Nano also means you'll need to go a little bit deeper on the menu to adjust things like the field of view or stabilization. One thing to note though, the default stabilization on the Nano is turned off. I learned that the hard way after filming my first impressions. I was editing and wondering why it came out so shaky. So make sure to turn that on first. Overall, both are simple enough for beginners. The GO Ultra feels a little bit more plug and play straight out of the box, while the Osmo Nano has some more minimal settings on screen but takes a little more time to learn. Now, after spending time with both, I started noticing the little things on the GO Ultra that aren't highlighted as main features, but they genuinely make filming smoother and more enjoyable, especially once I realized the Osmo Nano doesn't have them. For example, The GO Ultra lets you pause a recording, which is great for talking head clips and helps saves a lot of storage space. If you always fumble with words like I do, you can just pause, practice off camera, and then resume when you're ready. What's even better is that this feature also works after you finish recording, meaning you can go back to a clip in your media and continue filming from there. This is amazing if you want to keep all your segment in one file instead of ending up with 10 separate videos. Secondly, you can also cancel a recording by holding the record button on the Go Ultra, and that clip won't be saved. This is great if you want to start over the shot or delete accidental recordings. I use this feature a lot because sometimes I hit record by mistake and didn't realize it's been recording for 10 minutes. So this lets me cancel the whole thing instantly. The Go Ultra also gives you 2x 4K clarity zoom, which is handy when you want to reframe shots, especially with ultra-wide lens cameras like this too. It can also charge and transfer data at the same time, which is convenient. So by the time you're done transferring, your camera will also be charged up. It's a bit surprising that the Nano can only do one or the other, and to make it connect properly, the camera module has to face away from the screen. It may seem small, but worth knowing if you transfer often. On the display side, both cameras have built-in grids to help you frame your shots, but the Go Ultra adds a green level line to help keep everything straight too. And when you want to review footage, only the Go Ultra lets you do that wirelessly, which is a big win in the world of detachable cameras. Lastly, the Go Ultra's interface automatically rotates depending on how you hold the screen. These small touches really add up over time, and you'll start to appreciate them once you film with it for a while. But of course, features aside, the real question is, how do they actually perform when it comes to footage? Let's find out, shall we? Both cameras can shoot in 4K 60fps and capture a really wide field of view. This is actually one of my favorite things about action cameras. You get so much in one frame that it's hard to miss the shot. The Go Ultra's field of view seems the widest, but things are actually getting more interesting when you start to change the settings. With stabilization on, the Nano becomes a bit wider at 60fps, but if you come down to 30fps, the Go Ultra takes the lead again. Both cameras have ultra-wide settings, and the Nano is, again, seems wider, but it does have a slight distortion on the edges. Now, if we're talking about the widest, the Go Ultra has Mega and Action View, which came on top again. So overall, I think both of them has wide field of view, but in general, the Go Ultra has the widest one. So yeah, this is just small detail to note if you prefer wider look like I do. Now, in my honest opinion, the main difference between these two really comes down to tone and color. In bright daylight, the Osmo Nano produces a more neutral, realistic look with a slight green-yellow tint and true-to-life tones. The Go Ultra, on the other hand, leans towards brighter exposure, richer saturation, and more red and blue hues that flatters skin tones better. So if you film people a lot, the Go Ultra colors tend to look more pleasing straight out of the camera. But if you're filming food, architecture, or landscapes, the Nano's natural tones might suit you better. In low light though, things changes a little bit. Both of them have a night mode to boost the exposure. The Go Ultra here generally looks brighter and cleaner even without turning on pure video mode, whereas the Osmo Nano relies more on its auto night mode to keep footage usable. Color-wise, both cameras push the saturation a little bit more at night. The Nano can lean slightly yellow and flat under warm lights, while the Go Ultra in the same setting seems to boost the reds a little bit more. Personally, I found that you don't always need to use pure video on the Go Ultra. If the lighting is decent, it can overexpose highlights. So it's just one of those settings to use intuitively depending on your scene. But still, I'd rather have a brighter image that I can tone down later than a clip that is just too dark to save. Now, another small but helpful feature, the Go Ultra has an auto pure video mode that automatically switches between regular video and low light mode depending on your environment. It's subtle, but it's really convenient when you're filming on the go. That said, the Nano shines when it comes to creative flexibility. It offers 10-bit color and a flat color profile, which gives you more room to adjust tones and grade in post-production. It can also shoot 4K and 120 FPS, which is great if you love creating slow motion footage. Now, even though the Go Ultra doesn't have 10-bit or flat color profile, you can still color grade with good results. I've seen creators like Chris, he gets incredible results with both, to the point where I can barely tell them apart. So in short, the GO Ultra tends to deliver a more polished, vibrant look straight out of the camera, while the Osmo Nano gives you more creative control if you enjoy color grading or slow motion work. Either way, both deliver strong image quality for their size, and while we're still on the topic of image quality, I also want to touch a bit on the photo performance because I get asked about this quite often. Both cameras can take photos. The Osmo Nano up to 37 megapixels and the GO Ultra up to 50 megapixels. What makes the GO Ultra stand out though is its live photo feature, which works a lot like the iPhone. It captures a short 3-second motions right after you take the shot, so it's kind of fun to use if you want to take a candid moment without taking a video. It also offers a 2x lossless zoom, which gives you great image quality even when framing tighter shots. And if you like burst photography, the GO Ultra can capture for up to 30 photos per second, while the Nano manages around 9 photos within 3 seconds only. So overall, while both handle stills well, the GO Ultra gives you a bit more flexibility in this category. And now that we've seen how both cameras handle photos and videos, let's move on to something just as important: practicality and portability. Because if a camera isn't easy to bring around, you're probably gonna end up using it less. When it comes to portability, both cameras are impressively compact. They even fit nicely into my smallest bag. As for the recording speed, they actually boot up at roughly the same time, so you won't notice much differences here. Now, if you like using the camera on its own for more low-key recording, there's just one small practicality difference worth noting. The GO Ultra gives you a haptic feedback, meaning you get a soft vibration when you start recording and a slightly longer one when you stop. This way, even without having the screen around, you always know what's happening. The Osmo Nano, on the other hand, doesn't give any vibration or even a blink of light when you're recording on its own. So if you want to make sure it's recording, the only way is to check the vision dock. Another practical advantage I found is that the GO Ultra has the Find My integration. I've said this all the time, but basically, you can track your camera and even make them beep individually, which, trust me, gives a lot of peace of mind when you're filming outdoors. The Osmo Nano doesn't have a full tracking, but it does let you play a beep sound from the app if it's within about 10 meters of your phone. It's not as advanced, but still helpful if you just misplaced it nearby. So, overall, both cameras are easy to carry around, but the GO Ultra earns a few extra points for practicality. It really comes down to what you prioritize. And while practicality matters, what really brings your footage to life isn't just what people see, it's what they hear. So let's see which sounds the best. Alright, I'm recording on both cameras right now, so as I switch between the two, you'll be able to tell the difference yourself. First off, the GO Ultra's internal microphone only records in mono, and the microphone's positioned right in front. The Osmo Nano, on the other hand, records both mono and stereo, and the microphone is one in the front and then one on the side. So you're probably not only hearing my voice right now, but you're also hearing the environment around me pretty much clearly as well. Now here's the thing. If you talk a lot in your videos and you don't really do audio editing, then the Insta360 GO Ultra might be the better pick for you, as it has voice enhancement mode, which will isolate your voice so you can save a lot of time in post. But if you prefer capturing a natural environment sound like the city atmosphere or cafe ambience, then the Osmo Nano stereo audio will give your videos more lively, immersive feel. When it comes to avoiding wind noise, both cameras has built-in wind noise reduction, and from my test, both of them actually do a pretty good job reducing wind hiss when it's breezy like right now. Personally though, I don't really rely on internal microphone whenever I know that it's windy. What I usually do instead is using the external microphone. For this test, I'm using the Insta360 Mic Air on the GO Ultra and the DJI Mic 2 on the Osmo Nano, which I already used previously on the Pocket 3. Both of them can connect wirelessly and sound great overall. I personally like the Mic Air more because it's so thin and light, so whenever I put it on the shirt, it's not gonna drag on the fabric. But DJI also have Mic Mini if you prefer a smaller option. Now, if you're in a noisy environment like where I am right now, the Insta360 Mic Air offers a noise reduction option, while while the DJI Mic 2 has an intelligent noise cancelling option, which supposedly will cut out any noise and will focus more on my voice. Now, if I don't tell you which mic is which, would you be able to tell the difference? And more importantly, which one sounds better? Alright, now that we've covered how both cameras sound, let's talk about how they hold up. Because no matter how good the footage or the audio is, it doesn't mean much if they're not built to last. It's pretty much a given that both of these cameras can take a bit of a beating and handle water immersion, but I've also seen a lot of questions about how they perform under the heat. And now that I'm closer to summertime, I decided to test them side by side again, and here's what I found. On a 20-degree day recording indoors, the GO Ultra standalone lasted about 38 minutes before running out of battery, while the Osmo Nano on its own went about 41 minutes, but it overheated near the end. Now, when using their docking system, it changes things a little bit. With the GO Ultra's pod attached, I got around 1 hour and 8 minutes before it overheated. On the Osmo Nano, using the Vision dock gave me about 40 minutes before it overheats again. So yeah, performance-wise, realistically, both are fine for short-medium sessions, but if you plan to vlog for hours, you definitely want to pack a power bank with you or just take breaks between clips. As for storage, the GO Ultra supports external memory up to 2 terabytes and records directly to them. This saves you a ton of time if you shoot long sessions or you travel often. The Osmo Nano supports both internal and external storage, but it can't record straight onto the external drives. Apparently, you'll need to save clips internally first and then manually transfer them. It's not a deal breaker, but it does add an extra step to your workflow. So in short, both cameras are capable, but the GO Ultra gives you more reliability for longer recordings. The Osmo Nano still does a good job, but it tends to run hot faster, especially in warmer weather. Now, we're almost at the end, and so far, nothing has been a deal breaker, but this next part could be one for some people, so let's talk about it. If you already own other DJI gear like the Osmo Action or their 360 cameras, good news is the Osmo Nano uses the same mounting system. That means you can reuse your existing mounts and tripods without buying everything again, which is super convenient and a smart money move if you're already in that ecosystem. The GO Ultra, on the other hand, doesn't share much compatibility with the previous Insta360 models, but where it really shines is in its range of accessories. It feels like there's an attachment for everything. It's honestly impressive. Like this ring remote, which is wearable and unnoticeable, or the Easy Clip headband if you like outdoor activities. I've actually already shared a bunch of my favorite accessories in earlier GO Ultra videos. I'm gonna link them down, so you should definitely check them out. And speaking of accessories, both brands offer similar options in the bundle, just with small differences in design. For wearables, both chest attachments feel strong and secure. The GO Ultra's magnet pendant has a wider strap so it sits comfortably, and the 2 adjustment pieces are magnetic too, which makes wrapping and tightening the strap real easy. The Nano's magnet lanyard though feels incredibly strong. I actually use it quite a lot because the thin all black strap blends right in with a lot of my black outfit. Both bundles also include a 2-piece ball joint stand, but the Nano ball joint only tilts in one direction, whereas the GO Ultra's pivot stand moves freely in every direction. Now, the bases on these works different too. The Nano's uses suction, while the GO Ultra's uses a sticky pad. Personally, I prefer the sticky base since it grips more surfaces and feels more reliable overall. Suction works fine, but only on perfectly smooth surfaces. Even small texture like wall gaps or matte finishes can make it lose grip. That said though, I love the Nano's clip more than the GO Ultra's. It has a magnetic back so you can attach it directly to the lanyard. It's perfect if you're shooting hands-free and you want to adjust your chest POV angle. The GO Ultra's bundled clip, however, isn't magnetic this time around, so it can't attach to the pendant the same way. Although, Insta360 does sell a magnetic version separately if you really want that setup. Overall, if you value convenience and already have DJI gear, the Nano fits right in. But if you love exploring new angles or just want maximum flexibility, the GO Ultra's accessory system is honestly hard to beat. And lastly, let's talk about price, because after everything we've covered, that ends up being the deciding factor for most people. Now, the Osmo Nano is definitely the more affordable option and offers great value out of the box. Aside from the basic accessories, it even includes a protective case in the standard bundle, which is pretty generous. The bundle options are also flexible. You can buy just the camera and the vision dock as a standalone set, which makes it ideal if you already have some compatible DJI accessories. The GO Ultra, on the other hand, sits at a higher price point. The standard bundle doesn't include all the must-have accessories, so if you want the full experience, you'll need to upgrade to the creator bundle, but that does cost quite a bit more. But the good news is, since Insta360 has generously sponsored this video, they're actually gonna give a free pivot stand accessory whenever you purchase the GO Ultra using my code Laura. This is actually amazing if you just want to stick to the standard bundle, because this will save you a ton. And believe me, the pivot stand will unlock a lot of creative perspectives. So thank you to Insta360 for being super generous with this. I'm gonna put the link in my description, so don't forget to check it out. Overall, when it comes to price, the Osmo Nano feels like the better value if you want a cost-efficient entry point. But if you're after all the extra convenience, flexibility, and a camera that grows with you, the GO Ultra's higher price becomes much easier to justify. And after spending time with both cameras and testing them in so many different situations, I can honestly say they're both solid choices. But personally, I find myself reaching for the GO Ultra more. It's really not because I get paid to make this video. Let me explain. First of all, I prefer its tone, because whenever I record myself, it naturally gives me that rosy cheek and lip tint. I don't even need a makeup filter. It's just already baked into my face. Secondly, I love the wider field of view, and with the GO Ultra, night vlogging becomes much more possible. Thirdly, I also really appreciate how Insta360 pays attention to all small thoughtful features, the kind that you don't realize you rely on until they're missing somewhere else. It might not have the pro level color controls, but that's honestly what I love about it. It just lets me film creatively without overthinking the editing. So for my personal use, the GO Ultra makes the most sense. By the way, tell me in the comments, do you think I missed anything from this comparison? I really appreciate you guys for being patient with me, because I do take a lot of time making these comparison videos. But as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one.